Go. All right. Because of the long history of discrimination faced by both minorities and women, racial balance in business, education, and the military cannot be achieved without policies that promote affirmative action. And affirmative action are laws, policies, and administrative practices that intend to end or correct the effects of a specific form of discrimination. So in America, affirmative action is put in place to help historically discriminated against groups. And the biggest argument against this is, let's say, for example, Penguin publishers are looking to hire, and let's say 100 people sign up for this specific job, and let's say they rank these people, and let's say, for instance, the top 20 people that are ranked happen to be white, and then the next 20 happen to be African American, and yet they, because of these affirmative action policies and because they want diversity in their company, might take off the last 10 white people even though they were higher ranked, and hire, let's say, the top 10 white people, but then African American people or Native American people, people from other minorities, even though they had less qualifications, because they're hoping to promote diversity in their company. And so that, and then that is the reason people would argue against it. And then also, these ideas in America for affirmative action kind of stemmed in the mid-1800s during the Reconstruction era. So this idea that slaves had just been freed, or technically freed, by the government, and yet they were at distinct disadvantage in society. And yet that didn't really work out because of the prejudices and the problems in the government. And so the policies really came into movement during the 1950s and 60s, during the civil rights movement. And so another argument against this is that we kind of had these racial problems and people coming in to jobs or education at an advantage then, and yet we've moved past that, and so we don't have these problems anymore. And so what I would look at in my paper is really the history of the discrimination and trying to see if that really is still happening in America, and so are these policies still necessary. And at this point, I've said yes, the policies are necessary, but if I did more research, I'd be willing to say these policies aren't necessary. But that is my idea. Thank you.